Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is January the 23rd, 2018. Whew. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing Raw results. We're going to call this one Raw 25 because it was Raw 25. There wasn't a lot of matches happening Raw 25, but it was talking about all the old wrestlers. All the legends that came to the WWE from the 25 years of Monday Night Raw. I got a little upset because there's some guys I want to see because they were part of Raw for years, but I'm going to be talking about some of the segments and I'm going to name some guys that we've seen because I can't remember all these guys. So the first thing on Raw, we had Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon talking about the 25th of Raw, had a tribute, a video package of all the greatest moments of Monday Night Raw. So that happened, and then they said there's only one person that made this thing happen, was Mr. McMahon. And they were going to give him an award, but Vince says it was cheap. He shouldn't get a plaque. And he says he didn't need anyone. He did it all by himself. And then, guess who came? And I was so happy because he was one of the guys I really wanted to see. Stone Cold Steve Austin came. Stone Cold came and Vince didn't want to get stunned. He said he's an old man. He's in a retirement home. He's saying all these things. He has a hip problem. Maybe he does have a hip problem when he got smashed by Kevin Owens from a frog splash and a super kick to the head. So maybe he's true about that. Maybe his body is hurting. But he said Shane McMahon is in his prime. He could get stunned. And Shane did get stunned. He got stunned, and then Vince was trying to celebrate with a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin. They hit cans. But beer went all over his jacket. He was getting mad about it. But they drank beer, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stone Cold Stunners, the boss, once again, to Vince McMahon. And then he was going to celebrate a beer with Shane McMahon. Didn't happen. He got stunned once again. Poor McMahon family. The only person that didn't get stunned of the McMahon family was Stephanie McMahon. She ran when Stone Cold came. So that happened there. And ladies and gentlemen, we have first thing we had the women's match. But before we do that, it was pretty cool. They had two arenas. One in the Manhattan Center, I think I said that right, with Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross as the commentaries, because they were commentary that back then. And then they had in Brooklyn the new version of 2018 with Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Booker T. So, in the Brooklyn arena, we had an 8-women tag team match. We have Asuka, Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks versus no Paige, but Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Nia Jax, and Alicia Fox. And I thought it was horrible. It was a horrible match. There was no build-up of the Royal Rumble. Yes, they were talking about the Royal Rumble, but there was a build-up at the end. There was a build-up at the end of the Royal Rumble. But the winner of that match was Sasha's team by doing the big statement on Alicia Fox. Of course, she tapped out and they won the match. But when they were celebrating, Asuka just threw everybody out of the ring like it's the Royal Rumble. Is that going to happen at the Royal Rumble? I don't know. Before we talk about the other things, because, ladies and gentlemen, they talk about all the women that was part of Raw, that was former champions and everybody loved. Let me see I get this right, alright? I think there was like 5 of them. There was Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie. There was Kelly. Yes, Kelly. She was my favorite because she was athletic when the WWE didn't care about the women that much. They called them divas. So she was more athletic. There was Tori Wilson, Jacqueline, Terry Reynolds, and Trish Stratus and Lillian Garcia. That was awesome. It was awesome. It was pretty cool. Before we talk about the Intercontinental Championship match between Roman Reigns and The Miz, they talk about the Raw general managers. All right, so I think they only named like 4 of them. No, not Teddy Long. Teddy Long was there, but they had Eric Bischoff. They had William Regal, John Laurinaitis. We got the last one. But those are the guys that were there, but they got interrupted by The Miz, and the Intercontinental Championship happened. So it was a pretty decent match, like they did last time they fought. It was a decent match, but ladies and gentlemen, after the cover of the padding of the turnbuckle got taken off because Roman was fighting the Goons, and the Goons got kicked out of the match because they got involved again. And then Roman tried to do a spear, but he banged his head onto the second post where the exposed turnbuckle was. 1, 2, 3, The Miz wins the match. And then they had this weird party, it looks like a party, with Kurt Angle talking to all these legends. He talked to Brother Love, Brooklyn Brawler, Teddy Long, Jonathan Coachman, Barry Wildman, I think his name is, and the Boogeyman. Then they had the APA doing their segment. APA had their own little office. You know, have you guys seen the Attitude Era? I forgot what they called it. But they had their little office to drink beer and to do their cards. Heath Slater was there, Rhino was there, Titles Worldwide was there, MVP was there. Who was there? John Bradshaw, and Farouk, Jeff Hardy. All those guys were all there to make this happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it was pretty awesome. And then they had an argument, Heath Slater and Rhino, with Titus Worldwide, and didn't really happen. I don't think it happened. Nobody won. The W Boys came out and put Heath Slater through a table. Pretty cool. Who else I'm missing here? Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan was a special guest. They had the New Day in there, but why? There's so many SmackDown guys. There was AJ Styles, there was Charlotte. Who else was there? Who else? The Undertaker was there. Before we get to the main event. Who else was there? I know Goldust was there, but he's still in the WWE. But in the Manhattan Center, they had 1 match. Well, no, technically they had 2. In the main event, we had Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. Nobody really cared about it. The winner of that match was Bray Wyatt. And then they had the Reunited DX. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, X-Pac, and Scott Hall. I know Scott Hall is not part of the DX. But they came out and they were saying their catchphrases, doing all of these stuff, and then the Balor Club came out, and they did the Too Sweet thing. I don't have a friend. Buddy, you want to do this to me? I'm talking to my dog. He doesn't want to do it with me. So that happened, and then the Revival came out. It was supposed to be it's a match between the Balor Club, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson versus the Revival. The winner of that match, with a short fashion of win, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Are they pushing those two? Don't know. But everybody did their finisher. We saw the X Factor, the Famouser, whatever Road Dogg's finisher was, and the combo of the Sweet Chin Music and the pedigree onto the Revival, and the coup de grace from Finn Balor. And then they had this thing in the Brooklyn Center. They had everybody, even the old legends, coming out, even the wrestlers, trying to stop the Monster of Men and Kane and Brock Lesnar stop beating each other. But when that was happening, nobody stopped them. F5 to Kane, and Brock Lesnar got broken through the table. It was nothing really big. It wasn't really big. But the thing, I was a little upset because every time they do these big things, like anniversaries for Raw or SmackDown, The Rock shows. But The Rock didn't show up this one. Kevin Nash didn't show up. Bret Hart didn't show up. Who else? It wasn't a show I really want to see. Kevin Nash is pretty cool to see. But all these people, they actually came. I never thought we would see Kelly ever again, or Tori Wilson ever again, or John Laurinaitis, or Eric Bischoff. Seriously? They even showed pictures of CM Punk. Like, seriously, that was crazy. I thought we would never see these people again. Well, maybe Kelly never had a problem. She just wanted to get released. So, they won't have a problem with her coming back, or Tori Wilson. But Eric Bischoff? I was surprised when they even brought him in the first time in 2002. But, why now? It was pretty cool to see him on there. But there's some guys I want to see The Rock, because The Rock, he's a good talker. John Cena showed up, he got beat up by Elias. But The Rock didn't show up. Elias was making fun of The Rock. Chris Jericho was there making fun of Elias, put him on the list. And then, no, The Rock. It made me sad. It made me really sad. But I thought it was a decent show. It was a pretty good show. It was decent. But I do have a story, but it's not about me. It's not about a human being. It's about my dog that's laying right here. And I don't think it's anything bad to say, because it's a dog thing. Maybe if you guys have big dogs, maybe you have German Shepherds or Huskies, or dogs like to chase things, maybe you guys will understand. So, I give you a little hint. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and hit that little subscribe button and the little bell icon, because I do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday. I will be doing this Friday and next Friday for you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me today. Tana is out and the judge.